I also want to just address this thing about the fact that some students aren't going to get grades, because I think what's really important is that the way we talk about education has become distorted in recent years by the way we have a focus on end of school, end of university exams. And we have come to think of those end of university or school grades as almost as being the point of going to education. You go into education in order to get those grades. And it isn't. It's not the purpose of education. It never has been. And actually, if you look at the history of this, when the first universities were set up in Bologna and Paris, most students didn't take the end of university exam. They didn't need to. What was important was what they had learned. Their learning advanced their career. And the same thing is true now. The purpose of education is to be educated. It's to learn. It's so that you know and understand the world better, that you develop wisdom that you can then use to build a life and career from yourself, and so that we can all work together to build a better world using the wisdom that we have learned. The grade, they're a byproduct that we've got distracted by. And actually, grades, the impact of grades on your life fades over time. I've said it's like, you know, when you buy a brand new car, if you buy it brand new, by the time you've driven it off the lot and onto the road, it's lost a big chunk of its value. And the same is true of grades. The further away you get from the grades when you were given them, the less and less impact they have on your career, because employers look at what was the thing you did last. So if you didn't get good A-level grades, but you go on and you do really well in your degree, employers won't even notice what's happening with the grades. If you don't get the degree outcome that you want, but you manage to get on the employment ladder and you do really well there, and you well, the glowing reference from your boss on the previous piece of work that you've done are the thing that they will look at most, rather than your degree grade. So these things fade over time. They will not follow you through life forever. And if you focus on learning, what I would also say is, I sit on a lot of interview panels, and I very rarely select an applicant on the basis of the grades they got either at A-level or in their final degree, or even in their master's subjects. It might help me decide who gets an interview at that, but actually, when it comes to appointing people, it's the performance in interview that matters. And what I'm looking for there is, what do you know? What do you understand? And how able are you to apply it? So you may have, let's say that the applicant has a first in their degree, but if they don't remember any of it, if they don't really understand it, if they can't tell me how they would apply it in the context in which we're employing them, I won't appoint them. I will appoint the person with the 2-1 or the 2-2 who was able to come in and tell me all the things that they know and why they understand it and why they're passionate about it and how exactly they would use it in the role that I'm employing them for. So what you learn is what's important. If you focus on the learning intrinsically, learning deeply, care about it, learning that stuff to understand it and to think about how you might use it, that's what education is for. And if you focus on that, the fact that you're not going to do these end of year assessments or exams doesn't matter anything like as much.